We're live. Okie doke. Hello, guys. Hope you're all well. Do excuse me, just finishing off some quick notes for this evening's now. As usual, won't actually go full live, full operational until 2000 hours. Hi, John. Glad you made it through the hurricane. I hope you're all good. I hope your family's all good. I hope your friends all good. And the pub is always open for you, my friend. Yeah, God, what crazy week, eh? Crazy week. It's been a bit crazy for me. It's been a bit crazy for Kaz, and it's definitely been a bit crazy for some of you guys out there around the world. Bit of a mad one. Mine was all okay. Mine was, well, within reason, was planned. So I've got some notes I've made up there. Was within reason planned. It was sort of knew what I was doing and what I was going to have to do until I got a phone call earlier in the week from somebody known for a few years who was in quite a desperate situation and needed me and Max rather, so unique. Yeah, unique skill sets to sort a problem out.
Sort my hair up.
Yeah, lovely. So basically, yeah, we went out and dealt with the problem. Again, I can't go into specifics, and I've been asked, okay for me to record it, which we did. We did video some of it. Hi, Tracy. But again, the property, the people involved, and obviously, what we were doing, parts of it we can show you, parts of it we definitely can't, because some of it may be needed as evidence at a later date. And I apologise straight away now. I'm going to have sneezing fits tonight.
He's allergic to me.
I have hay fever, and it is gripping me. I've taken my tablets. I've blown my nose. I've done all the usual tricks. Tried everything, squashing a weasel up one nostril, seeing if that helps hay fever. Doesn't seem to be working.
That it's not a good idea because you sneeze with the weasel up your nose, incoming, outgoing.
Yeah, but what's not to like with a weasel up your nose? Always helps.
I've personally not tried it. No.
I love those old traditional country cures. You got a bit of a splinter in your finger, it's slightly poisoned, cut your finger off. All those old cures, tie your tooth to the tractor and let your tractor drive off. That's a good one. Cake was stunning. Yes,
coffee cake, Trace.
Tracy, who lives over that way, about 35, 40 yards, clear shot, makes a stunning coffee cake. And every now and again, she makes us a coffee cake, which I really appreciated.
Even though someone wasn't keep moaning about the fact they hadn't had one for a while.
I'll save a slice for Mac. Unique set of skill. Liam Nielsen, the best Liam Nielsen impressions. Yes, I can't do it. Mac probably can. It was we'll travel through our various paths in life. So many moons ago, in a country and a galaxy far, far away, two young men were involved in security work of a very unique nature, which required the ability to go unseen. That's what I'll say there. Specialised in dealing with, shall we say, anti-poaching problems and similar stuff. And again, our skill set was required for this situation. Get in, observe, get out. That's how we put it. So that video will be up in a few weeks.
Jim Austin, did you see?
Right, 200 hours. So, guys, how many we got on here? We've got 5 of us at the moment. Guys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all safe, and I hope you're all good. I would ask tonight for your prayers for our friend who normally joins us, but tonight is unfortunately unable to, Lee Michael, who has lost his mum.
Yeah.
And he's had to go off for the funeral tomorrow. So I'll ask your thoughts and prayers out to him, because I know we're all a caring group. Okay. Other than that, John, you survived a hurricane. Well done, my friend. Top points. You go to the top of the class.
He said, did you remember to set the fire control stakes
Maybe.
for the fields of fire?
Maybe. And we may even mapped out our arts of fire. And we may even done our range planning. Yeah, got a really good backdrop actually. So the kill zone was set. Claymores were positioned. So anyhow, get on with that. I shall light up my cigar in a second. As usual, I shall apologise to you guys for smoking cigars, but hey ho, it's Sunday night. It's my one time of the week when I smoke my cigars, and tonight I am on another bottle of the Thatcher's Haze. Because I thoroughly enjoyed that last week. Normally don't like cloudy cider, but actually that went down very well.
I'm on the Tango because unfortunately my arthritis is really playing up. Yeah. And I've had quite a lot of meds, so I can't risk having alcohol today.
We've got to watch Caroline on the meds, okay? Alcohol on the meds, table, dancing, throwing clothes off, okay? It's been known to happen. Anywho, shall we say? What can we say? God, blimey. Particular skill set. Oh, say, how'd you get photographed like that? Ooh. Yeah, can't say too much more. Okie doke. Those of you that know what that was, keep it to yourselves. Those of you that don't,
it's Memory Live. You can get.
It was a tanky. Yeah, our thoughts and condolences do go to Lee.
He's had a pretty rough. Excuse me, a rough time at the moment. His neighbour, living his neighbour as well.
Yeah, he has had a rough couple of weeks, and that's the way it tends to go, unfortunately, for a lot of us. And that brings me to another point I'd like to chat. I just make a mention. I don't like to keep on about it because you all know my feelings towards it. But guys, look to your friends, look to your neighbours, look to your family. Somebody looks like they're struggling. Somebody's having a hard time. No, it doesn't always show in the way we expect, but look to them. Occasionally, just somebody, nobody expects miracles, but occasionally, just knowing somebody says, "You're right, mate. How you doing?" It helps. Ray, evening, mate.
Ray again.
Yeah, I've got a big thank you to Ray. On the wall there, up there. In fact, I will get it down. Whilst I was away this week, being a bit of a pillock, I'm not having a reading glasses with me, I received a text. And the text pretty much said, "Are you in, mate? And where do you live?" And so I'm like, not having my reading glasses, didn't read it fully, and didn't realise the guy was actually saying he's coming round. That was Ray. So I do apologise, Ray, because I was on the Isle of Wight. But Ray dropped in this to us for the channel. Okay, yeah. Not allowed firearms and that. This is a jungle clearance knife. Okay, that I'll be doing a review on, and I'll be comparing it to the British issue one, and that may be coming up around October. Okay.
And my apologies, Ray, because when you came to the door and you said you had the dog in the car, I forgot that I'm so used to always having dogs here. I thought I didn't even think to say, "Oh, it's okay, we've got no dogs." But next time, please bring your dog with you.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to have a coffee. I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll sort her out over that, Ray. Don't you worry, I've not let her forget it. I've given her hell for days, Yeah, you. But anyhow. So, where was I? Look out to your friends and your neighbours and your family and that. If you see somebody struggling a little bit, and then sometimes it just shows us they're just a bit quieter than normal.
Tracy put thanks up for all the love and prayers were sent to Phil when he was ill in hospital.
They were. It doesn't take a lot to just say, "I'm here if you need me." Okay, you don't have to come up with miracles. People that are struggling aren't always looking for answers. They're just looking for somebody to say, "It's okay, mate. Right? It's okay to be down. It's okay to be a bit miserable. It's okay to seem a bit angry." Yeah.
Behind the smiles, quite often.
Yeah. So
a broken person.
Yeah. It's difficult, but we all need support sometime. Ray, you're more than welcome
Definitely.
anytime, my friend. More than welcome anytime. And if you're really lucky, Tracy might have made a cake as well. A slice of cake. Evening, Ian.
Get in.
Yeah, and again, from Tracy, as you see there on the comments, she's just sent a thank you to everybody that sent their best wishes for Phil when he was ill. Yeah, it was appreciated, you guys, and I know it made Phil smile in a funny way when he was in hospital. Yeah, he a bleed on the brain. He was a little bit sort of, and yeah, so. Sorry, Phil. I know I'm taking a mickey, but shouldn't. Poor old Phil. Yeah, so he's got a metal plate in his skull now, which, yeah, let's face it, metal plate in his skull's titanium. Downside of titanium is it's not magnetic, which has always annoyed me. It's fine it being bulletproof, but at the end of the day, if it was magnetic or it would be magnetised, you'd have somewhere to put like work lights, spanners.
But Tracy, at Christmas, you can use it as a nutcracker, put a walnut on his head.
Yeah, you know, it's
Sorry.
a bit mean of you, Cass. Right, I like this cigar. Oh, that's. Do you know what? I'm looking forward to that one. I've been trying to cut down on my smoking all week, so I've been smoking less than I normally would, and using my nicotine pouches. But but I got to enjoy this cigar. Yes, and to every single one of you, whether you're here with us now or whether you join us in a couple of days, cheers, guys. Have a great week. So, I'm just going to tick those off my sheet. I have to be organised. Yeah, hurricanes. Love a hurricane. Been caught in one myself. Fantastic experience. Not necessarily at the time, but when you look at it, when you look back on it afterwards, Mother Nature, God, she's a beast. How powerful is that? You know, it's quite amazing the power of wind, and it was devastating when we got hit by it.
Ian just asked, did you get his email?
Ian, I'm not sure, mate. I will go through and check. I've been a bit slack. No, bear with me. 2 seconds. No, in what I do, I'll check afterwards. I'll fire back to you. Get hold of you either way. Okay. Probably did get your email, but at the moment the old fuzz box is struggling a little bit, as it has been one of those weeks where I've managed to get sort of best part of 180 hours out of this week, isn't it? It's just 180 hours, probably total distance covered somewhere up near 800-900 miles. Total sleep is probably single digits. But yeah, we managed to get through it. We've got through it. Me and Mac and Kaz, or me, Mac, with Kaz's help, got through it. So weather. This has been hitting me this week. So hurricanes, and I've just been watching some reports from Nevada, seeing the flooding there. Bloody hell, you know. That was a lot of rain, you know. And again, flooding in deserts. It's the most common cause of death in the desert: drowning. Okay, and then the Burning Man was washed out as well. And
lost someone there, didn't they?
Yeah, according to a medic friend of mine, one of the biggest things they've had to deal with there during this time round was hypothermia, which again is not expected. As you pointed out, it's not expected normally at Burning Man. Normally they're dealing with heat stroke. They get 2 or 3 cases of hypothermia every year, but that's normally late at night and people who have taken substances that may reduce their ability to function properly. Yeah, a little more said about that. Yeah, so the Nevada flooding, that you know, it's probably out of all the natural disasters I'm liable to come across in my situation. Flooding is one of those that does always have my hackles up and have my alert senses going. Whether it's pure water or mud flow, both of those are so destructive. And if you're in its path, they move so fast. It's one of those things people see from a distance and discount. We've all seen pictures of flooding and that, and usually the images we've seen are after an area is flooded out, and it'll be valleys covered in water for miles and miles and miles. But the initial surge that you quite often get with flooding, even if it comes from rain, it's not the area it's raining on that sees the biggest problem. It's the areas downstream. Once all that water is surging into all the rivulets, all the streams, channels through to the rivers, the levels build. Somewhere downstream gets hit by a wall, and that can be pretty destructive. Yeah, and obviously we always think about the homes of the people and how they're affected.
It wasn't the devil, Brussels, was it?
Yeah, the Brussels sprout wind. Cool. Yeah. That can move. That can move people. So flooding downstream, or the damage that flooding causes downstream. And of course, the one thing we always talk about is people, property, businesses, and so on. But it's the effect on wildlife, livestock, and things like that, because they're caught out in it. If you're a farmer, you're in a low-lying area, you've got livestock spread over sort of acres and acres and acres of land. You don't always get the chance to get them in. You may be too busy saving your family. So again, and cattle swim quite well. Sheep, on the other hand, depending on the time of year, they don't fare so well with water. So again, my heart always goes out to these people. Evening, Mac.
Evening,
How
Mac.
you doing, mate? Hope you're rested.
Ooh. You're not snoring in the corner.
Snoring in the corner?
In your car?
Zedding in the Rover. Yeah, so where are we? Flooding. Yeah, so flooding. So of course, I'll say Nevada, Burning Man. These things happen. I mean, if it had been a British festival, we'd have understood it. We're used to that. All our festivals were in mud, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Glastonbury and that. We're good at that. And again, obviously, come to quite a shock for these people. Quite a shock. Wonder if the event will go ahead next year. It's quite funny how nature can turn things on its head. But that's the way it goes. Cycles happen. Freak storms, weather conditions. We're suffering with an El Nino effect in the Pacific at the moment, which will affect us worldwide, and does and has done for thousands of years on a regular cycle. So that'll be interesting.
A lot of water spouts as well, haven't we?
There are a couple of water spouts, yeah.
The Isle of Wight, which is to our American friends, it's about 21 miles by 13 miles. Yeah. Island of the coast.
Yeah, we had the blue moon this week, didn't we? It's the closest the moon's going to be for 33 years. It'll be interesting to see how, because obviously that's going to be on the way. The moon doesn't just shoot away. But it'll be interesting to see how the spring tides in the autumn spring tides do. Because here in the UK, especially on the west coast, we do get some major tidal effect. We get places like the Bristol Channel and that. We get a bore there that can be predicted regularly, and guys actually go and surf it. If you want a bit of a giggle, have a look at the Severn Estuary tidal bore on YouTube. That's quite a good one, and that runs for many miles inland every year, twice a year on the spring tides. Surges and freak waves. Yeah, I've experienced both of those over the years, working in and around the Ogden, and they can be quite experienced. Usually more affected on shore than they are offshore. It's quite funny. You can be 2 miles offshore, and you'll literally get a little whoop, and then by the time that's hit the shore, that can be a 7 or 8 foot high freak wave that will run inland for many hundreds and hundreds of meters, and be quite devastating. And it's not so much the effect of the wave coming in; it's the wave pulling back. That's what tends to be your biggest problem, because it's pulling everything out to sea. Oh, do excuse that dong. That's my ashtray there, which is this one. Every time I touch it with my cigar, let's see if I can get it to do it. It rings. So
Like a singing bell.
I do
Singing bowl.
apologise. Like a singing bowl. I have my singing bowl there. Yeah. So, tidal surges, and I've been caught in a couple actually over the years. Or a couple of freak waves as a kid, down in the West Country. I've been pulled along the beach by 2 feet of water, and again, one of the things that people always miss out with water, they always think that it takes a large amount. It doesn't. A car can be moved by a foot of water. A person can be moved by a couple of inches if it's moving fast enough. So again, it can be a very tricky substance to deal with. The other problem, of course, with flooding is, and it always gives me the jeebies when I see people wading through it. Big beach, is obviously all the sewers and that back up. So anytime you've got flooding, you've usually got contaminated water. So again, you've got to go to a really good filter system and boil it if you're going to use that water. I'd rather not, but if you had to, good quality filter system, boil it as well, you'll probably be fine. But it's always the people moving through it. And obviously, you can't see debris in water when you're moving through it. Small cuts, small injuries, lots of bacteria, lots of nasties in there. Yeah, next thing you know, you're suffering with an infection, an illness, and then quite often in those situations, that's something to be avoided at all costs. Go back to the New Orleans disaster. People stuck for days. Well, if you're stuck for days living pretty much on the roof of the house, the last thing you want is an infection alongside it. It all comes back into our survival planning. Yeah, got waffling a bit there, and I do apologise. Yeah. So, OPs. Let's have a chat about OPs. So many types of OP you can set up. Observation point. Okay. Most OPs people consider and think of it from a military point of view. So it's a fighting. You think of it as fighting OP, right? So you're gathering information on an enemy force. Within the civilian world, usually what you're doing is you're just gathering information. You're not expecting to be attacked. It's not a tactical OP. So although you do everything you can to conceal, camouflage, and hide away the OP, you can also go on the other point of view. So you have covert and overt OPs. An overt OP is where you want to let people know you are watching, and you make yourself very obvious. So you'll look at that in a situation where you're a visual deterrent. It may be on a border situation. It may be in a high theft, high risk situation. It may be at an embassy. It could be at a secure compound where you want people to know we're watching and we got eyes on you. For most of the work that me and Mac have done over the years, it's covert OPs, and then we do sometimes close target recce's as well. So if you're going to do a close target recce, you're going to work in a situation where you've got 2 choices on this. You've either got to make yourself semi-invisible, well, it's not so easy, or you've got to make yourself obvious and acceptable that you're there. So you then go to a situation where your dress, your manner, your movement pretty much says to anybody that notices you, that's just a bod passing through. It's not a problem. The art to that is gathering information, storing the information either in a noggin or taking the information as you bimble through. And one of the greatest inventions for that these days is a good old mobile phone. Right? Nobody thinks anything of seeing somebody with their face stuck to their mobile phone anymore. Okay, in actual fact, if somebody's not got their face stuck to their phone, people tend to think it's a bit weird. So if you're doing a CTR and you've got your phone to your face and you're blending into the environment, look like you're supposed to be there, you're wearing your walking gear or whatever, and you're bimbling through and you're having a fair conversation with Aunt Jane about, coming over on Sunday to see the kids, walk the dog, how's Dave, and all the rest of it. You can be relaying information to your oppo who's back at the OP taking notes. Okay, you do that on a coded system, or you do it on an obvious, walking along. Yeah, Jane, no problem. I'll be there at 0900 hours. Or I'll see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Red car. It's you can go
being
through
a
that.
grey man.
It's the grey man, Jim. Exactly. Blend in. Be what people expect. And again, on this job, it took a combination of those skills, basically, to do what we had to do. And again, you'll see it in the video in a couple of weeks. We've got to be careful editing the video. The guy we've done the job for wants to see the video to make sure I'm obviously not airing anything that could lead to any problems for him. And also, there's bits and pieces we've got to take out of it, what we were there to watch. But we will show you how we set up that particular OP. And you can do many variations. You can run an OP from a vehicle. You can run an OP from a building. You can be up in a loft. There's many variations. It's one of those things that people always think of from the outside as being this fantastic, exciting thing. And be honest with you, it's like the movies. It's long, it's boring, it's uncomfortable. Boredom sets in. You start working on short sleep patterns because you've got to be observant, and you've got to be intensely observant for periods of time. So me and Mac have found over the years, working, depending on the job, 4 and 6 hour briefs works for us. So you get yourself into a pattern of 4 hours of observation, and then you go to 4 hours of rest. Okay, 4 hours of maintenance skills. Maybe 4 hours of bimbling around the area. And when I say bimbling around the area, you might not be in the area of the OP. You might be out 2 or 3 miles, checking various routes, lanes, and that. Other bits of technology have come in and have helped these days. You've got things like trail cameras. You've got small cameras that you can set up in places. So again, you can push those skills and that equipment out there. And in actual fact, me and Matt were talking about what we were going to do as a video for this week. And I think what we're going to do, because we've still got some of the kit put to one side, I think we're going to set up Matt was saying we're going to set up a cam net. We're going to talk a bit about camouflage, concealment, setting bits and pieces up so that you blend in, hiding yourself from your local environment. And again, this is part of that's because we've seen a lot of other people doing it, and to be honest, no, everybody's got their own skill sets. Some of them are a little bit, they're a bit misleading to somebody. It might cause somebody a bit of grief, and I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong. They're not, but it's just down to how much you've been trained. It's not always just a case of throwing a bit of cam net over a bit of rope, and that's fine. There's a little bit more involved in that, which some of you will realise. A lot of you know already. So yeah, we're going to do a bit of that. I'm going to take the filming easy this week. I'm going to do a nice little video. I'm not going to go too mad with anything. A nice relaxed one. Gone on anything, mate. That's it. It's mindset, isn't it? It's just switch yourself off. It's quite funny. It's how you can, in those situations, just go, right, I need kip now. And when you're trying to observe and you're trying to stay relaxed and you're trying to stay covert, you're trying to reduce your movement, reduce noise. It's a high stress situation. It will knacker you out. It does. It takes it out of you. I've had people say to me, "Oh yeah, I'll be super relaxed on an OP." You never are. Because if you're too relaxed, you'll miss something. You'll either get yourself caught, or you'll give yourself away, or you'll miss something that's going on out there. Yeah. So yeah, right off of OPs. Yeah. So the video this week. Well, no videos in general. Let's talk about it. So we're coming up to a year.
Coming. Yeah.
Yeah, up and coming videos. Yeah. The landfill stealth camp. Yes, yeah. I like the idea. I don't like the idea, Mac. It's the burrowing
Use
in.
my scabbers. I've got a little rat.
It was the burrowing in that disturbed me. When you started talking about burrowing in and the fact that the ground temperature would always be the same, that I found about uncomfortable. So we're coming up to a year. 7th of October, this channel would have been live for a year. And I'll be honest with you, I'm more than happy with it. When I first started, I thought if I can get 500 subscribers in the first year, that'd be cool. Okay. And I said to myself, I looked at what other people are doing, and I thought there are many, many ways I could up the subscriber count. Okay. I could go with, God, you see them all, the titles that, died on a hillside, that sort of thing. Fallen off a waterfall, dragged to mid-death by a cow. And I wasn't going to do that. The other thing was, I was asking the missus to get her boobies out for the for the channel. And we've all seen it on YouTube. And I said, no, I'm not doing any of that. There's one thing with my channel, we're going to keep it simple, honest, and if people like what we do, then they like what we do. So I'm happy. We're banging on towards 1,000, and I'd love to get 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. Would be amazing, wouldn't it? It would be amazing. And in all honesty, partly because if I get to 1,000 subscribers, we get monetized. Don't get a huge amount, but anything that comes in would help towards the costs of running the channel. Fuel expenses, food, bits and pieces like that. I would enable us to do even more. Okay. And that's what we're pushing towards. We got down to Dartmoor. The Dartmoor videos didn't do so well, and we know why. It's because at the moment Dartmoor is we won't go do we don't do the clickbait. What you see is what you get. There's nothing more disappointing than seeing this voluptuous lovely on the screenshot, and then it cracks in, and it's just a waste of time. You spend 45 minutes glued to the screen like that. There's nothing there. No, so I don't like clickbait. I don't see the point in it. Bitten by spit the dog, yeah. So one,
I'm laying on it.
we'll try and get 1,000 if we can, and those guys that have supported us this far in this journey, I would say thank you very much.
Good evening, Derek.
Evening, Derek. Glad you're here. Hopefully it's a bit cooler for you over there today. So pushing towards 1,000 hopefully for Christmas. And to all you guys that support the channel, thank you so much. Okay, the comments and that, fantastic. The likes.
I'd love to have some more comments.
It's all a big help. So what we're going to do, 7th of October, this channel's been going for a year. We're going to do a giveaway. Okay, it's not a big giveaway. I'd love to do a big giveaway. I see some of these other channels, got £1,000 worth of camping gear. I'd love to, but unfortunately,
competition more than a giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to do a competition to do a giveaway. Okay, and we had a bit of a think about this, so we decided sticking with the theme of what we do. We wanted to give something to somebody out there as a prize that would be representative of the channel. And I got a lot of feedback on my IFAC first aid kits, people saying that they thought they were great and that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to basically give us a prize, an IFAC. In actual fact, you'll get an IFAC, which is that one there, or if you don't like MTB, because I know a lot of people don't,
You can have it in green.
you can have it in green. Okay. Within that IFAC to start you off, it's not a complete IFAC, because one thing I do know about kits is everybody's different. So it's a kit that you can build yourself. What will be in that kit for you to start you off? There's a tourniquet. There's an Israeli dressing. There's a set of shears. There is a ferro rod and striker. On this side, there's a selection of wipes. There's an emergency whistle. There's some small dressings. And there is a emergency blanket. Okay. Everything else, you can build it yourself and adjust it yourself. Yeah. On the outside, just as a backup for your fire lighting, you just put that back up on the zipper there. There is a little petrol match. Now this won't be loaded for you, but basically if you unscrew that top, what you have in there is a little match and striker system. You put lighter fluid in there, screw it back up, leave it on the outside, strike it, it lights like a match. If you let it burn for too long, it burns the material out. It's a nice little emergency backup. So that will be going out to somebody as a competition. And what I'm going to do between now and the beginning of October, you'll see videos. You'll see my videos. And if you watch through my videos, look for something doesn't belong so much.
Yeah, not expected.
Something not expected. In each video, there'll be something not expected. Okay. And then what we'll do in October, or what we'll do is we'll get you guys, or get everybody seen it, to make a comment. Tell me what you saw. Okay. And it will be there in each video. Yeah. So it'll be a thumbs up, a comment to say what you saw. And then what we'll do, we will randomize this. I'm buying a randomizer. We'll randomize the names, and the prize will go out to somebody. And that will be my way of saying thanks.
That'd be a good idea. I like that,
Jim,
Jim.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that. Yeah.
Tracy can make a cake.
In actual fact, anybody that's near enough to get to down to Farnborough in Hampshire or Aldershot direction, okay. Yeah, let's organise a night or an evening up the woods. Let's have how do you fancy a brew in the woods fire? I'm sorry for you guys that are in the States and that, but I'm just thinking, I've got guys at local. 78 stormy lightning, thunder, beautiful sky fireworks. Excellent, Derek. That's exactly what you want. Yeah. So any of you that are local enough, hit me up, let me know. And
oh dear,
70,000 people stuck in concrete like mud. Yeah, that's not good, is it, mate?
Yeah, we've already heard in the UK.
Yes, Tracy, you and Phil will be more than welcome. I can arrange transport up there for you. In actual fact, I'll arrange for you to make a cake.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what she's answering.
Yeah. So that's a brew in the woods with Mick, and we'll do that for an evening. We'll set that up. And we'll base that around the time that other people can make. So basically, if people that are interested,
thank you. You're getting a bit long now.
Send me a comment. Those that would be interested in brew in the woods with Mick, will probably be done on a Saturday. Yeah. No, let me know a list of evenings that you would be available. So bear in mind it gets dark now, or even afternoons. And then I'll look through and go, yeah, he's available there, he's available there, he's available there, and I'll try and match it up and then get back to you via email and set something up there.
Maybe before Christmas we can organise us to meet up for another one, maybe somewhere else.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. Get a few of us together and we'll video that, and that will go up as a meet the boys. Yeah, and ladies, yeah, and just it'll be a nice, chilled few hours up the woods. Yeah, we'll get the fire pit going and get the brews on and just have a meet up. That sounds like fun.
I think it's too old, Derek, from a girl of my age to be having ponytails.
I like your ponytails. And again, going back to what we were saying earlier in the evening about flooding, Burning Man, yes, so that sort of environment, very fine dust out on their planes. That's going to be, like Derek's just said, that's going to be satellite concrete. People aren't going to be able to move. And as I said, a medic friend of mine that's working out there at the moment said he's never known so many cases of hypothermia. So, again, and that is people just not being prepared for the situation and conditions. Instant survival situation, definitely. There's, I think that that's going to end up with.
You have to
I think
rethink that, aren't they?
your is it National Guard? I think they're probably going to end up coming into that to help evacuate people, because it's going to take specialist equipment to get people, get their gear, get their equipment, get their vehicles out there. And I know it's a sensitive area. I know that they go to great efforts to tidy it up and make it immaculate afterwards.
Yeah, helicopters.
Yeah, helicopters, waka wakas, yeah,
Hovercrafts.
hovercrafts. Now that would be.
I
no,
love
you just want
hovercrafts.
any excuse. This woman here, her ambition, right, has always been. Right, bear in mind. So when we met in our, we'll say late teens.
I'm
Okay,
19, yeah.
yeah. At the time, I owned one of the fastest production motorcycles that you could go out and buy. And this hooligan loved it, right? She's bit of a speed freak, okay? Miss Sensible loves her bit of speed. And the one thing she's always said she would love to own, whether it motorcycles, Land Rovers, she's owned
And a trike.
She had a trike V6 Ford engines trike.
2.3
yeah,
litre V6.
you imagine 2.3 litre V6 trike. There's no weight on this thing. The rear wheels, the drive wheels, are from a Lamborghini. Okay, so it's massive torque, massive grip, and the thing went like a lunatic. I mean, the front forks, it's a chopper style, so the front forks on that were 8.5 feet. Over springers, which made it very, very light. No front brake at all. The thing would fly. Been known to scare more than one sort of hot hatch. Not that you should, obviously. But all she wants is a hovercraft.
Yeah, one that takes about 12 people on it.
Yeah, she wants a hovercraft.
Buckle in, and here we go.
Yeah.
Just like the idea of water, land.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Whizzing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within
reason.
Yeah.
Within reason. Yeah. Within reason. And another thing that come up this week, on more than one video, again, because I watch other people's videos as well, just to see how they're doing. And I invariably, I'll be honest with you, sometimes get ideas from them, sometimes thoughts. Sometimes I look at it and think, I could do that better. Or sometimes I look at it and go, that's a new technique.
Definitely.
Yeah. I tell you what, John, you get it, she'll drive it, but you pillion. Okay? You're the one that's going for Jetsons. I've thought about that for many years.
Like the one that goes across to the Isle of Wight. It's very noisy, but I've always I never fancy those individual ones because I'd only scare myself. So I want one with
you want one where you can scare other people, yeah. Yes, I watch other people's videos. Something that's come up this week, and I keep seeing it come up. All right, bugs, bites, stings. Okay. Now, bugs, bites, and stings. I can say it's all about being prepared, guys. You know, if you're going to go out into the boonies, if you're going to go out camp and stay out there, bugs, bites, and stings, you're going to get them. It's as simple as that. Okay. Anybody that doesn't go out equipped for that situation is a bit daft in my book. That it's just one of those things. You have the kit with you. It doesn't take a lot. to have a simple antihistamine wipe, or even take some Piriton or some antihistamines with you, which will ease it. And to take something to treat stings and bites. Okay, they're out there, can absolutely make hell of a night, whether it be ants, wasps, bees, whether it be centipedes. By golly, I've been to some places where I've seen some really nasty, bitey, stingy things. But it does happen, and you've got to be equipped with it. These first aid kits, people are always talking about the major stuff, but sometimes it's those little things that can really, really ruin your life. Um, yeah, so again, it's I don't understand what some of these guys, think, oh, I've had to pull off, or oh, this has happened and that's happened. Hey, well, be equipped for it and be a bit more observant. Quite often on my videos, you say, oh, there's a what I think there's 2 videos where I've gone, there's a wasp or a bee's nest around here, because I've heard them long before I've got near them. So you then open the eyes, open the ears, look, find them, locate them, and stay away from them. Most of these things won't attack you offhand. It's usually as a last-ditch form of defence, with the exception of hornets. Ants, people always say to me, oh yeah, but ants follow trails, ants follow systems, ants are looking for food. Okay, so if you're observant enough to find the ant's nest, you move away from it, you stay out of their way, they invariably stay out of yours. If need be, lay a false trail for them. That can work quite well. Over in the UK, we've got 3 species of ant that will cause you a problem. We've got the wood ant, which is the quite large ant. Well, I say large by UK standards, so it's about that big. They can be quite aggressive. You got the red ant, which again is very similar to your American fire ant, not quite as powerful, but yeah, he can be a bit of a stingy swine. And you'll tend to get covered in hundreds of those. Yeah, and then if you're unlucky enough to be down around places like Portsmouth and that, you can find there's several species of ant and scorpion. And again, around British docks, imagine we've had sailing ships and that travelling around the world for hundreds of years. And a lot of these docks, these southern ports especially, quite infested with things like scorpions, bullet ants, and things like that. So again, you just got to be aware of them. Know your bugs.
Jim said about the hydrostatic squeeze you get when people get stuck in the mud.
Yes, mate. Yeah, of course I can, John. No problem. So you want a video on a basher? Right, me and Mac will do that this week then. So we'll do basher setup, camouflage netting. Okay.
Prep for the field and folding it away.
Yeah.
Because no one ever shows that, do they? Just go like
don't.
That and it's done.
They don't. Okay, there's 2 or 3 methods for that. Now, John, just let me know, basher setup, are you talking like standard military tarp type setup? If you are, then brilliant. What we'll do is we'll do that, but I'll also throw in the DD tarp. I've got a large 3x5 by 4x5 DD tarp, so we'll get those out. We'll do that.
Yeah, I've done a how-to for quite a while. Have you?
Standard MOD basher. Will do, mate. Not a problem. Okay, me and Mac will be on that this week. Tuesday, we were planning to go out. So it'll be Tuesday, me and Mac will be out the woods. We will cover MOD bashers, folding, preparation, packing them away, pulling them out, and that. There's many different methods, and hopefully that will work out for you.
Because unfortunately, some of the channels they just go straight in it, and you don't show push. It makes it confusing. Like for me, I've looked at it, I think, I don't understand that because I don't know how you did that.
Invariably, I think what happens is a lot of channels. They this is my opinion as somebody who sets up to film. What I see on a lot of channels is somebody turns up, looks for the ideal spot. That takes 2 hours. Finds the ideal spot. That takes another 15 minutes thinking about. Then thinks, right, I want to show this perfect. So they set their basher up, right, off camera, walk round it for an hour, tart it up and all the rest of it, and then go, there's my basher. Reality of it is, it's not. Reality of it is, you turn up, you find the right spot, you look for where you want to be, and you set up from there. And you invariably, when you first set it up, you look at it and go, and then you tweak it, and you tweak your tensions, or you might hook up to a different tree or set up to a different tree. And this is the thing guys don't want to show you because they think it makes them look bad, but that's the reality of it, you know.
Derek wants to know what a basher
Right,
is.
a basher, mate, is a basic tarp shelter. Okay, an MOD basher is a 3x3 tarp set up with your government issue standard tarp. You then set up your roll mat, your sleep bag, and your BB bag in that, and that becomes your shelter.
How did it
So-
get basher?
Bashed up. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bashed up shelter.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and again, so you're setting up a basher, tent, any sort of shelter. It takes constant work because you go through the night, temperatures change, materials stretch, they sag, materials shrink. Yeah, conditions change, so it's constantly adapting, altering, monitoring, and sitting there. Again, people set up the shelters and expect it to be exactly the same 5 days later, and invariably it's not. One of the pleasures of being out there is adapting your shelter to fit the conditions. And the nice thing with most shelter systems, especially top systems, that you can adjust it so easily to improve airflow,
That's what
knock the airflow out, anything you want from there.
You don't like them when they're not taught.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it. I mean, let's face it, with a basher, the more taut it is, the better the rain runs off it, the better the wind moves off it. It doesn't flap, it doesn't panic. But again, it's constant adaptation. People think they can just sort of set it up and leave it for days, and it's not. You're constantly tweaking it, touching it. Same thing with OPs. You set up an OP. Every time you move around that OP, you've got to constantly change it. So if you're working with camouflage, those materials that you take from the wild,
yes,
those materials you're taking from the wild to make your OP, to camouflage it, within hours start to change the colour, start to shrivel, start to change. So again, it's a constant evaluation of how well your camouflage is working. If gorse bushes are always a favoured for training because they're so easy to work with, but one of the downsides with gorse is it wilts off. It doesn't wilt off fast, but it wilts off, and that colour change is quite dramatic, so it tends to make it stand out.
True.
Yeah, basher. I believe it goes back to
build a shady house accommodation.
Yeah, so we do bashers this week. I think we did a video a while back, but I don't think we did so much on actual setting it up. I think we actually did more of a thing. So we'll set up 2 or 3 different bashers and some camouflage. Yeah, I think you're right. I was going to say, I believe it goes back to the Indian campaign. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right there. A basher is an Indian word for hut. I've heard that before.
There's a pizza basher. Pizza Hut.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So it's a sugary tango.
Yes, so we'll do that. The other thing is cooking on my channel. Do people want to see cooking on my channel? I mean, I've got Dutch ovens, cast iron. I don't get me wrong. You can tell I enjoy my food. I see a couple of the other channels. Literally, so every journey they will cook something new and wonderful. You say yes, please, Trace. Do you want to see stuff cooked? I mean, I'm usually.
Burning sausage.
I mean, for me, and Matt, usually on most of our adventures, it's usually ball in the bags because it's simple, it's efficient, it's easy.
But you did say you were going to do one with a tomahawk
Oh,
steak.
I do want to do a
you?
tomahawk steak. Yeah, I do want to
In
do
the woods.
one pot cooking, please. Yeah, one pot cooking. I do like a bit of one pot cooking. Yeah, all ins. There's nothing like a bit of all ins. In actual fact, I'm going to get Jason on one evening or one day because he's an ex-MOD chef. So he's worked in army kitchens, and we have, for those of you that are ex-British soldiers, we have a thing called range stew. Okay, and it doesn't matter which cookhouse makes it. All range stews are range stew. It is just hot, filling, full of deliciousness, and wonderful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him out up the woods one day and say, right, come on, let the truth be known. Show everybody what goes into a range stew. How do you make a range stew? I've heard many myths over the years, and that's an all in. That's a one pot. So we'll get him to do that. Yeah, easy recipes. I mean, go tos for me. Let's go. My main go tos for survival cooking, things like bannock breads go down well. Pasty video, yeah, I know. That'll come in September, mate. When I get down to Cornwall.
Well, our friend Michael
was going to bring one back.
Yeah. But
Mickey Lovegrove, you let me down.
On the 16th of this month, we are actually in Cornwall, so you can do a live from.
Yeah, I will do a live. Yeah, so we're one pot cooking. So I do things like bannock breads, simple foods, simple rices, pastas, meat. Obviously, you can grill meat, you can fry meat, and that you can make stews with it. So yeah, I shall knock out some bits and pieces like that. So we'll do a few cooking videos. I didn't. Yeah, it's trying to figure it out. It's because this algorithm for YouTube's a pain in the arse. It turns out after a long time of thinking I needed to do this, that, and the other, in actual fact, the best thing that I can get is likes and comments. That will push
comments makes a big difference.
Comments makes a big difference. Likes and comments.
Mystery meat.
Love a range stew, yeah. Mystery vegetables non-specific.
Yeah.
I'll get Jace to break it down for you, so you'll finally know the secret.
Squirrel Tony.
Yeah, I'm sure they put something weird and wonderful in there. I really am.
It's probably win a lot. Win a lot of meow mix.
I might even see if I can get him into the cookhouse to get the genuine ingredients as well. Might have a contact there. Evan.
I've been lucky enough to have range stew when he was on the ranges. I went down there one night and I had
no, it's just
something. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. You look into it and you're like, what the hell's in that? But it always tastes nice. And things like bannock breads. I mean, again, I'll do another bannock bread. The autumn's coming. That's a nice one. It's a very, very simple dish to do. It's a great campfire dish, especially if you're out with mates or you're out with kids and you want to show something to them. Dead easy. There's a lot of people tell you, oh yeah, making bannock bread is an art. It's not. It's one of the easiest things in the world. It just takes a little bit of observation. That's the main thing. We'll get into that. Yeah. Yes. I don't want to know. I've only just lost the Twitch like that. It's highly addictive, isn't it, Jim? Other favourites on the range was the pie and chips that always come super soggy because they wrapped it in some sort of, I don't know what they wrapped it in. They used to wrap it in some sort of paper. This paper just held moisture like you wouldn't believe. So your pie and chips would come to you in the hot box and it would be lukewarm.
And you get little tins of the cheese. Nondescript cheese with biscuits brown.
Cheese possessed.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Any of you, possessed cheese.
Or the pate look very cat food like.
Yeah. Kat. Kit
You
Kat.
want tuna? You want salmon? Pretty cat food.
Yeah, it's yes. And again, coming back to being outdoors, isn't it? It's the simple pleasures. So,
Horror bag.
yeah,
Yes.
those are your ex-military. Oh, the horror bag. Yeah, don't even go
Mike
there.
used to have
Cheese
crows
and
on
onion.
his range that used to nick the horror bags out of the bread trays.
Yeah, I used to get the guys there and I'd say to them, put your bread baskets for your horror bags inside a building. Put it in the range hut or whatever, but make sure there's somebody on it at all times. I used to have a group of crows. There was a family of crows, about 7 or 8 of them. And they would, as soon as they saw those brown paper bags and they were left alone, you'd look over and you'd see a crow stood in there and he would be taking out the items one at a time and the other crows would fly off with them. Absolutely fantastic to watch. Then you get the guys come back across
Then we
moaning
still
about
got to put yogurt.
it.
Yogurt in a
it's
horror bag.
packed lunch thing. It's
Yeah.
like they used to give you a slice of pastry. Oh, no, it's a pastry.
Yeah.
It was like a pastry
Yeah,
slice
sausage roll.
with it was supposed to be cheese and onion, but there was no bloody cheese or no onion in it. They used to do air pasties, which is a pasty with no filling, or the filling would be that tiny little dollop.
But the RAF one, they used to have chocolate chip muffins in there.
Yeah.
They had proper crusty rolls.
Yeah, C4. Yeah, so C4 for you, PE4 for us. Okay. Exactly the same stuff. Yeah, makes a brilliant fire lighter. Burns rages.
He used to have a pheasant.
He used to have
A
a pheasant
cock
called.
pheasant used to walk up and down the firing point.
I used to be stood there and be like, with a magazine of 5 rounds, load, make ready. You will receive 1 exposure of a figure 11 target. Targets will fall in hit. There is also a male pheasant on that firing line. Do not shoot my bloody pheasant. And they would be firing, and you'd get the earth would splash up. And every time it splashed up, this cockbird would run towards it and look at the hole like that. Then he'd look up and he'd run to the next splash.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I used to call him Adolf because of the way he would stomp up and down the target line.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Jim. Crows are caw, caw, caw.
I'll stick to your boot. Yeah.
Just don't stomp the C4.
Yeah, you know, and I'll stick. Bloody stuff that is. Oh, Jesus. It's when you're cutting a stick to light it and everybody sort of that's uninitiated starts panicking and backing up. You're like, it's not going to do anything, don't panic.
Yeah.
Yellow apples, Space Raiders, crisp, Panda Pops, and half frozen pasta. Yeah. That's about sums it up. All supplied by the cheapest possible manufacturer and supplier. And if it wasn't a yellow apple, it was
green ones.
It was the impossible apples, the green ones.
Like
that
Granny
are
Smith's.
that hard. I was convinced they're actually cooking apples that haven't got full size because you bite into one of those things, you're what the wrong.
The Space Invaders, they went to Tato crisps then, didn't they?
Tato crisps,
Yeah.
from Ireland.
Yeah.
The saltiest crisp ever made, or known
And then
to
you
man.
didn't get Panda Pop, you got water.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we've
The
got health.
pasty was the same, yeah.
British Army went on to a health fizz where you didn't get Panda
You get a
Pops
little
anymore.
Kit Kat.
2 fingers. I bet the RAF got more than 2 fingers.
Yeah, I bet they did.
Yeah, swines.
They bred on the plastic off their bread too.
Yeah, I've heard about the RAF and the chocky fingers. It's and of course, if you were sensible and you initiated, you'd always go and see the range staff and take them in a packet of choppy hobnobs and get to use their gear in there. Hot dogs. Yeah, we used to do a good line in hot dogs, didn't we? Yeah.
And Mars balls.
Yeah, Mars bars, cans of pop. I suppose it's the same in any army, isn't it? At the end of the day, you got to feed probably on a daily basis, UK wide. You got 120,000 service personnel that got to be fed 3 meals a day. And I suppose at the end of the day, some bean counter somewhere goes, how cheap can we do it? And some other bright spark says, well, look at that, get a special deal on them. And the quality goes completely out the
See,
window.
I didn't mind the sausage rolls that come in the horror bags. You didn't like them because it's like they're like pink meat, weren't they?
Yeah, not for me. Not for me. I don't like a bit of pink meat. They got two fingers from everybody, mate. Occasionally they got one finger. But again, what can you do? What can you do? They fun days made us men. Made us men. It's put airs on anything if you left it outside for a few hours.
The Evening Wild Camp in Sparford.
Yeah.
New one.
And then, of course, you got the other adventure, which is when the chef went absolutely mad and decided to drop a half a container of chili into it and turn it into a range chili.
Well, they do now hot diggity dog.
Hot diggity dog
Little
sauce.
tiny sauces.
Yeah, they throw a load of chili into it and call it chili and boil up a load of rice to give something different because they give you range stew the day before.
You wouldn't notice a difference.
No, I didn't really notice the difference. Didn't really notice the difference, apart from the fact that it was hot. Yeah, come on. What else can anybody remember? Come on, then. You tell me. What do you remember from your? Let's go back. What do you remember from your recruit days? What's that thing that stands out most in your mind that makes you go, oh?
I'm trying to think of the meals I used to have. The fruit dumplings.
Oh,
fruit dumps and custard.
Yeah, ration packs. The first ball in the bags that came out. I remember the first ball in the bag I ever got was lamb hot pot with dumps, and that was how it was written. Lamb. And I remember looking at this thing, a lamb hot pot with dumps. The fuck is a dump?
And now you've got ball tea and jalfrezi and
Flagstaff Hill, eh? Yeah, just for the fun of it, eh, Mac? Yeah. Long Valley, yeah. Yes, those places.
Yes, I remember you and him running down from the fan.
Yeah.
When somebody couldn't hardly stop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Good work.
A long and painful list. Carry the scars of pride. One day, great grandchildren will look up at you and go, great grandfather, why are you such a mess? And you can look back and tell them the stories.
Like I remember when you two started from the Jamaica Inn.
Oh,
you went round the Cat's Hole, like Brown Willie.
Yeah, that was a hiking trip. Okay, so both me and Mac love being out the moors. Okay, love the open views, and we did one in Cornwall, across Bobbin Moor, and being the sort of guys we are, when we first looked at the map, we knew the various tours we want to get to. We knew we wanted to get to Brown Willie, and Brown Willie being the highest tour in Cornwall or on Bobbin. So we know that's our peak goal. And it's only after you sit there and you go back over the map and you look at the names of the places you're going, and then we realised that it makes my chuckle, the fact that we had to go up the Cat's Hole to get to Brown Willie. That's I tell the names they come up with for places. It just Cat's Hole. There's no bloody hole. There's no bloody cat.
Oh,
and that's for Brown Willie. Well,
picture of a big cat on Dartmoor this weekend.
Yeah. Well, autumn's here, isn't it? That's it. We're in September. Apparently it's going to start cooling down a little bit once we get through this heat dome that the UK is supposed to be facing for the next week. But the evenings are drawing in, which is nice, which gives the air a chance to cool down a little bit. We are dark by 8 o'clock in the evening now, which is nice.
Definitely cider involved. Definitely. Especially in parts of Cornwall and Devon.
Yeah.
When you made a vat of cider so you knew traditionally that the cider was ready, they'd throw a horseshoe in or a dead cockerel.
Yeah.
And once they dissolved, it was ready to drink.
Yeah, that was it. The acidity was up there. And again, the alcohol, why did we produce alcohol? It sterilised the water. And even if it didn't sterilise it properly, you didn't worry too much about the effect. So,
Crippled Cock. It's one of my ciders I like.
Yeah, don't see that one anymore.
No.
Yeah. 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 Jim said once had to explain that going up Fanny Big did not mean he was having an affair. Yeah, Welsh names.
The army, the ladies, the fannies.
Yeah, Fanny's female army nursing auxiliary or yeomanry. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, been grabbed by a fanny more than once. Quick, I need a fanny.
Welsh names involve controlled substances. Yeah,
they do. They
yeah.
do. They come up with some grand ones over the years. Although I was saying that, I saw a thing today on one of the shorts that made me chuckle. It was a guy put a thing up. He said, what was it? It was a list of messages that he'd received from a female employee, and the way the messages had been sent was pretty much one sentence at a time to him. So it said, "Boss, I'm pregnant," and then there's a pause, and it says the next sort of message was, "Can I arrange some time off work?" And he said, "Yes, you can." His message back to him was, "Yes, you can, but you need to explain everything to my wife first because she read the first two messages."
Oh, oh dear.
Oh, how'd you deal with that one, eh? Well, we're not going to get into the whole Welsh language thing, all right? Especially as some of the Cornish names are just as daft and just as difficult to pronounce.
Worthy.
Wolfart, yeah. Yeah. I'll dig the map out and show you all that one afternoon. Oh yes, thank you very much, Derek.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Poor Kaz, she put up with me for that long. So it's 36 years we've been married this week. We've actually been together last week, yeah. We've actually been together 40 odd years. We met on January the 1st, didn't we? Well, it wasn't January 1st, it was New Year's Eve.
31st.
It was
December.
Yeah, early hours of the morning. This poor woman strolled into a local pub at about 1 o'clock in the morning to be confronted by a half-naked man who was absolutely pissed out of his brains, but had been stalking her for several months. Who went, "She's here," and managed to go, what was it? What was my chat-up line? Have you got a boyfriend? And she went, "No." I said, "You fucking have now." I managed to give her my phone number and go, "Please phone me tomorrow."
And
she did, and that was it. And yeah, poor bless her, poor woman. So thank you very much, Derek. Much appreciated, mate. Much appreciated.
And hopefully in the next 3 weeks we'll have a little companion.
Yes, we on the 16th, is it? 17th?
Oh, it's the 21st we go and get him.
21st of this month, I'm going to go pick up a new family member named Willow. He is a little Shih Tzu.
Looks like, as Derek says, he looks like we got an Ewok.
Right, airsoft. I've been invited to airsoft once. Okay,
Poor air fryer.
but
Back.
I got invited to airsoft once, and I wasn't invited back. I think at the point where I kicked the door in, took the guy down, and sort of like, yeah.
Our son does it though.
Yeah, our son
eldest
does it.
son.
It's a very difficult thing to do for me. It's because if it's, yeah, I just had to go a bit sort of full on for them, really. It's, yeah, they get hurt and then they cry and they're playing a war game, and they seem to get offended by me coming up behind them and just going, "That's you done, mate," because apparently that's not right. I'm supposed to shout "bang" first.
Yeah, perhaps Derek Mitchell better make you one of those the little rolls that Chewbacca wears. You know, the little brown pouches. You see, it looks like a mini Chewbacca.
Yes, does.
And why would you want a portable air fryer, Mac? It wouldn't be for cheese toasties, would it?
Oh, cheese air fryers. We've been having this discussion all week. We got into air fryers for cooking with. Now, absolutely superb system. If you've all got one, you'll know what I'm on about. But cheese and bacon toasty in the air fryer, oh, God, to die for. To die for. Mate, they do, don't they? I mean, I kicked the door in. So the door went in. I leapt in. Okay, engaged the first guy. Took the second one out with an elbow, and the third one was trying to get out the window when I pushed him the rest of the way out. It's just apparently it's
They don't like the grenades, do they?
yeah,
Either? No.
yeah. Apparently, I play a bit too rough for them. They don't like it. Yeah, and they yeah.
I tell those soldiers that shooting something going to hurt something.
Well, right. It's an instinctive thing in CQB that at some point there is a failure to engage, i.e., you are not going to get the weapon on the person. They're going to be too close and rest of it. And you are going to, it's an instinctive thing to take that person down. So it's either a split hand to the Adam's apple, it's an elbow to the throat. Yeah, and it's just, unfortunately, I play too rough. They don't like it. So yeah, and
yeah, but
I'm not knocking airsofters. I've met some really nice ones. I used to do a lot of it on the training areas. My son plays it. My son does it. And it's the same thing with reenactment. I've got no problem with reenactment, historical reenactment. My younger son Dan used to do a lot of historical reenactment. I've got it's not fine. It's not a problem. I was 5:30 one morning. I'm walking through camp to go get the keys for the armory, and it's pitch black. It's middle of winter. There's a solid fog through the camp. Okay, and it's a very old camp, and I'm walking through it, and all of a sudden I have a whole section of Waffen SS uniforms, weapons, the whole lot march past me in the opposite direction in perfect formation. And I had one of those moments where I went, "What the fuck was that?" And the last guy went, "Hi, how you doing?" And in a broad Scottish accent. I was like, "What?" Got to the guard room. I went, "That's fucking Waffen SS. The fucking war's been over for fucking 60 odd years." And they went, "Oh yeah, they're filming a big film up on one of the training areas." And that, well, I think it was Saving Private Ryan. I think that was part of that.
Asked you to. Can you mention the stealth and wild camping videos?
Yes. Okay, so we're going to start doing a series of videos. Again, me and Mac have been sitting and looking. Almost fell into a Dad's Army episode. Me and Matt have been looking at other people's videos and that, and YouTube, and trying to see what we can do that's a bit different. Again, it's that thing of don't want to be the same as everybody else, don't want to do what everybody else is doing, want to try and be a bit fresh and interesting. So we're going to do some wild camping videos, which we're going to call Back to Basics 101. Okay, which for some of you guys might seem a little bit boring because you've seen it before. if you're a regular on the channel and you've seen the stuff we do, please stick with us, because they're going to be primarily aimed at guys that know nothing, people that are just getting into this right from the beginning. Because as we said earlier on, one of the things you see on everybody else's videos, you see arriving, and then all of a sudden it's all set up, it's all done, it's all dusted, there's a roaring fire going, there's an expensive piece of steak
There's no
grilling away quite
cock-ups,
happily.
no,
There's no cock-ups, there's no mistakes, there's no difficulty in fire lighting because you don't show it. It's all done, and it's a wonderful night, and everybody had a great time. We're going to do some videos where we literally go back to the basics, the basic kit, basic systems, basic things that work for us. The idea being that anybody that watches this, not necessarily now, but maybe in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, sits there and goes, oh, I want to get into it. They find my channel. They're going to have something that starts off. Those of us with experience sometimes forget that for new guys, it can be a very difficult field. It's, if you camp breakdown to shore, you leave no trace. Yeah, exactly that. Camp setup, camp breakdown, camp systems, protecting trees, protecting the environment, protecting plants, being
So
aware of your impact on the environment.
You don't have to be scruffy and leave everything
And
laying
again,
around.
Through the summer this year, I've actually had it's been a double-edged sword really. So we've had quite a warm summer, and in the summer I tend not to go to open fire. And I've been discussing this with some of the other YouTubers, and some of them that I have made the comment to them saying, mate, do you really think lighting an open fire in that forest environment, I know you did it safely, and I know the way you did it was okay, but do you think that's a good idea? Because there's a lot of people going to be watching this that don't know how to set it up properly, and you're pretty much, by what you're doing, you're making them think, I want an open fire. There's nothing nicer than an open fire. There's nothing more stunningly beautiful than an open fire in your camp. Okay, simple as that. Love it. If I could, I would always have an open fire because it's relaxing, it's comforting, it gives off heat, it's a pleasant thing to do. However,
it can go wrong.
It can go wrong, and it can become an issue. And in most countries now, through the summer, we get fire bans. So I get a bit bugged with the guys that weren't following it. So like through the summer this year, I've been showing alternative methods. I've been going to my little cookers, gas cookers and things like that to try and just teach them. Feather sticks, tinder,
Because you see some that have had they're out going to make their fire, yet there's been a fire ban, and they're still doing it on top of dry leaves, on top of
exactly
moss.
that, John. You managed to collect half a shopping bag of crap on your overnighter. It just it bugs the tits out me. And you know what? The same people that leave the crap will be the same ones that will give you a lecture on how they are eco warriors and they're eco friendly. So they're some of the worst buggers out there. We've recently
we used to go off roading a lot.
Yeah.
We used to take a black sack in the back of the Land Rover because when we used to stop for make a brew, you could bet anyone you didn't like that when we stopped there'd be drink bottles, cans, crisp packets everywhere. So, take it home.
Yeah. And I get people saying to me things like, I carry it in and I carry it out, and then you find out what they'll actually do is dig a hole and bury it. And again, that's as bad, if not worse, than leaving it open for somebody else to find and remove. Take it in, take it out. At the end of the day,
sort of people who bury embers, wood, and that on the beach. There's been a couple of cases this year that a child is digging around or is treading a hole and burnt their feet.
Right, so on a lot of UK beaches, not all, but on a lot of UK beaches, you're fine to have a fire on the beach at night. The theory is you have it below the high tide mark, so the tide comes out and clears it. And what we've had happen in the UK this summer, and it's come to light a couple of times, where people have had barbecues on the beach and fires on the beach, and then sort of dug a hole in the sand, lit their fire. They're done with it. They're finished with it. They scrape a bit of sand over it, and they go away and leave it. And then what's happened is somebody's kids come along and put their foot in it, And yeah, that's hellish. That's fucking terrible injury. And as somebody with a bit of medical training, it's just think of this. So now you have a severe burn, and it's hot sand, and that's in the wound. Right. So not only do you have the difficulty of treating and sorting the initial burn out, which is always a pain in the arse. Yeah, you've now got to try and get the sand out the wound as well. And if any of you have ever had a burn that's had to be cleaned and abraded, that's not nice. Not nice at all. And it's just true stupidity. Why? And again, like I say, these same people will tell you, hand on heart, they'll stand there and go, yeah, I'm a good ecologically minded person, me. I'm really, really good.
Why don't you go down to the sea, fill a bottle up with water and put the coals out?
But still, put them out inside the silver tray.
Yeah.
Fold the silver tray up, take it up, put it in a bag, take it home with you, or put it in a bin. Simple as that. And again, all these things will get banned, and is something else that will get banned because only as on Mirmac's video on Dartmoor. Now, high up on the moor there, on a beautiful spot that on a gorgeous day would make a lovely spot to camp. There's a fire pit dug in the hill. Why? Went to all the effort of digging it out and making a fire in it, only to leave it exposed and open. Just
grass back.
Just right for everybody else to come along and mow. It'd take nothing to damp it down, get rid of it, put the turfs back over it. Nobody would notice there. And if anything, it would have actually done the ground a bit of a favour. The interesting one with heather in the UK, see, heather can't regenerate without fire. It actually takes the heat from a fire to split the seeds, make the seeds germinate. So the heather drops its seeds on the ground, and the way heather generates, it will always have a fire. Somewhere in its lifespan, it will be a fire, whether it's usually a naturally caused fire. And it burns super fast, super quick, does its job, puts minimum nutrients in the soil, because heather hates nutrients, and away the heather goes. And that's a natural system. So in the UK, for many generations, we used to burn the heather
on the gorse,
on gorse on a 7-year cycle, up on the moors and that. So it kept it regenerated, kept it nice. And fire is required in the wild. One of the issues, I was reading a documentary about the American Forestry Service, and they were saying it was after a fire in the 1930s that they built all the fire towers throughout the states, and they said, we're not going to risk having the fires again. And they did. They got on top of all the naturally occurring fires there. They literally, for generations, have managed to keep the fires down. But one of the issues was it built up the undergrowth. And the natural debris and undergrowth became worse once it was lit than actually having natural wildfires coming through on a regular basis. Yeah, and that's so. Of course, fire does have its place in the natural world. It does have its place in the natural kingdom, but it's a naturally occurring fire. And one of the things we've done over the centuries, or over the last 100 years, especially as technology's got better and quicker for us, we've interfered a bit too much with nature. To have somewhere where you get naturally occurring forest fires that rip through smaller areas with less material on the ground tend to not be such intense fires. But again, what can you do? Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants it to occur.
We're do some chestnuts on an open flare.
Chestnuts on an open fire.
Yes,
it won't be long before chestnuts are ready.
Yeah. Or hazelnuts.
Hazelnuts are ready now, or just on ready now. I had a walk along a hedge the other day, and there was hazelnuts on it. The haws were ripe. It is a natural occurrence. People have. The problem is, it's got to the point now where you can't. You'd have to go in with hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of people, and have a land management scheme where you actually pull all that debris out because it needs to be thinned out. Once you've got the debris out, you've got. I mean, really, at the end of the day, an ideal forest is a clean forest, minimum debris on the deck, apart from what's rotting away naturally. Good fire breaks, good system, and basically you split it into blocks, so you create good fire breaks. I've seen places where in the UK people get confused and they say, "Oh, that's a fire break," and it's not, because it's literally it's a ride. It's only 5 meters wide through the forest, and that ride's designed to give clear line of shot for deer management, that sort of thing, and also to act as a break between blocks of timber so that you can move through forestry processing. Um, when you actually look at a fire break, a proper fire break, they're usually 25 to 50 meters wide, and there's should be absolutely nothing on the ground, or the bare minimum, i.e. they're cut regularly and kept super short. So in the event of a fire, the first thing they do is they go up to the fire break, and they'll either plough it or they'll burn it off, and burn it off under control, so that acts as a break.
I remember a kid all the fire, the burning off the stubble and things like that.
We used to do it all the time. Again, you can't do it. It's an environmental thing now, isn't it? It's like burning stubble. And then there's something that's a bit of an interesting one. I brain waffling away to itself. So we've gone through the farming of the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Okay, so we went from 50s and 60s natural farming and the beginning of the big agro pharmaceutical business with pesticides and fertilizers and that. And we went from we used to in the UK, used to finish the field off, so you'd harvest your crops. If you took something like wheat, so you'd take the wheat off, and then you'd take the straw off in bales. So you got your wheat would go off as crop, your straw would come off, that goes as bedding, and you're left with the stubble. And they would burn the stubble off. Literally everybody for the farm and local farms would turn up, go upwind, and burn the stubble off. And if they needed to, they would plough just a small strip down the end of the field, downwind of it, to act as a fire break. And they would burn that stubble off and then plough it in. So the nutrients from that burnt stubble went into the ground, fed the ground,
Yes.
Yeah, and that fed the ground. Okay, and it also reduced the number of pests, insects, and so on, because of course you're burning it off. So yeah, that gets rid of them. And then we went through the big agro pharmaceutical thing where fertilizers came in, pesticides came in, which we learned within 20 years. Bloody hell! Look at the damage they're doing. Especially in the UK, where we haven't got the land mass. And we've got so many streams, rivers, natural water, and that we rely on that for our water courses. So we're now swinging back. We're trying to go back the other way, but now we can't burn anything. We can't use the old natural processes. The DEFRA and the departments of agriculture don't want us spreading manure on fields, which is an ancient practice of
chemicals,
collecting the slurry on the farm, the old cow poo and all the rest of it, letting that break down using natural bacterial processes, which again nature supplies that, and then spreading that as a natural fertilizer on the field. No, don't want that. That smells terrible. People don't like it. It upsets them. What are you going to do? Do you want to go to a chemical-based system, or you want to go to a more natural-based system? Poor old farmer, meantime, just stood there doing this. What the fuck do you want me to do? Where's the answer?
They go on about some of these rare things, but it's a natural thing. The balance of different species disappears but comes back.
Right, so
they'll say this one in New Zealand, this prehistoric looking, it's purple, looks like a grouse that they thought was extinct, and they got 100 of them in New Zealand.
Leave nature alone. That's my answer. It's like at the moment we've got a big problem in the UK with conservationists who want to conserve. They want everything to stay as it was in their mind's eye, what they think's right. So open heathland in the UK, if you're in southern England, right, it doesn't exist. It doesn't belong here. Okay, it should be forested. In actual fact, if you want to go back to Iron Age Britain, the entirety of the United Kingdom was forests. Okay, it was arboreal. It was forest from the south coast right up into the Highlands, and the tree varieties changed as you moved up through. So in southern England, we had the oaks, the beeches, and as you moved up and you got into the cooler climates, it went to conifers and that all the way through. Iron Age time, man came in, started ripping it out, started farming and all the rest of it. And we created things like heathlands. And heathlands, well, some of the heathlands down here in southern England were originally farms that went wild, but there was no nutrients left in the soil. The heather got a grip because it doesn't like nutrients in the soil. And it become open heathlands. So when you come up to sort of 16th, 17th, 18th century, you had vast tracts of open heath. And the conservationists say, well, that's what we want to keep it as, but that's not what belongs here. Now, I've got a theory that you should stop conservation. Okay, let Mother Nature do what she'll do. Okay, climates are changing. We know that. Okay,
animals and plants adapt.
Yeah, animals and plants adapt. Right, plants from the Mediterranean, okay, are moving northward quite naturally. So are animals, because the climate is becoming milder into northern Europe. Those animals naturally migrate exactly as they say it did after the Ice Age and before the Ice Age. As the Ice Age came in, a lot of animals migrated south, and after the Ice Age, animals and man migrated north. That's a natural cycle. These conservationists are fighting like buggery to try and keep things the same because they've got this magic picture in their mind of what they need to do. They need to step back, take their hands off, let Mother Nature run it. She's run this planet for millions of years and pretty much done a good job of it, otherwise we wouldn't be here now. So, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I believe in ecology. I believe in conservation from the point of view of trying to protect things that we are damaging. But I think Mother Nature should be just left to get on with it. Let the animals migrate as they need to. Maybe give them a little bit of assistance, but don't try and hold it all back. It's just daft. It doesn't work. She will do. Prime example of that's Burning Man. Who expected that?
No.
You know, it's like you say, 70,000 people are now trapped in something that resembles, and I think you put it exactly right, Derek. It resembles concrete. Yeah.
Well, snow in the desert the last few years.
Yeah, there's snow in deserts and all
in
sorts
Africa and things like that. They don't have them.
Yeah. So
she is wild. She will not be tamed.
Right. So notes I've taken from this evening. So yeah, the videos that me and Mac thought of doing, which are back to basics 101s. Yeah, it seems to be the ones that people want to go with. I've got to, when I'm doing my videos, remember now to ask people to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to try and push the channel and comment, push the channel. And if you want to help the channel, the best thing you can do for the channel is to keep liking, keep giving us that thumbs up, and making a comment. My YouTube advisors told me that is the best way to grow my channel in YouTube's eyes. The more comments and thumbs up we get, the more they push the videos out. So that's apparently how it works. So that's what I've got to do.
And you're doing Basher as well this week, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll do Bashers. We'll do a Basher 101 this week. Basher 101 and a bit of camouflage. We'll try and do 2 things each time, or 2 approaches, just to make it interesting. And again, if you ever find it's getting a bit dry, I mean, I rely on you guys on a Sunday night. If you find a video's a bit dry, or you think, do you know what, she didn't quite hit the nail with that one, let us know. Make suggestions, make comments. Neither me nor Mac is ever going to look at something and go, "Oh, do you know what? Take that to heart." No, we're not. It's just how we learn to move forward.
Yeah.
More shorts. Yep. Yeah. I wanted to do.
There's so much busy this line.
Right. So when I was at Carfest the week before last, I was there with a group of friends. Now, they all have roof tents and trailer tents they built themselves, mostly from ex-military trailers and that. And they got some brilliant bits of kit. And I thought, when we got there on the Thursday, I thought, right, Friday or Saturday, when I get a bit of spare time, I'm going to interview these guys, get them to walk us around their trailers and show their trailers and that. I thought that'd be really interesting. The guys are like that. That'd be fascinating for them. Without realising, where they put us to camp was at the back of the stage. And the only time I had where I could do any filming, there was always somebody performing on stage. And a great friend, Axel, a very wise and very intelligent man that runs a business that films for a living. I was talking to him about it, and he went, "You're going to hit a problem there." So why is that? He said, "Copyright on all the music." He said, "So you could do a video," he said, "but then you're going to have to edit the sound on afterwards and do it as a voiceover." And I looked at it and I thought, you know what, for shorts, that's just too much of a nightmare. Because again, I didn't want to do long videos. My idea was, because 5 or 6 of them, to do a short on this one, a short on that one, and a short on that one. But again, September or 3 weeks time, 3 weeks time, our trailer and a couple of other friends are going to have their camp gear down for the.
Well, it's less than 2 weeks now.
Less than 2 weeks, yeah. We're going to be down in Cornwall for the steam rally, so we'll have our kit down there. And I'll do a walk around about, get their kit then, see what you think. But yeah, I want to do more shorts. In actual fact, yeah, I'm just looking at the wall there. I might do a short this week on the British Army bush knife versus that one that Ray got us.
Yeah, and I've got to do mine as well.
Yes, and Caroline's going to do a short for you on her personal EDC, her everyday carry, that she takes out on her buggy, just to give you a different view to it. You know, you've got mine, you know, the old Survival Mitch, and you've got Survival Mac. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we'll get some more shorts out for you guys. That would be something I've got to think about. What else is there? What else is there?
Because the seasons are changing now. The whole.
Well, that's it.
It's a different scenario, isn't it? Because it's going to be more. It's all right being out and the heat, but now it's going to get cold. Well, that's the thing I did. And snow.
That's what I did today. I went out to the car today and sort of started appraising, changing kit. So again, seasons changing, and it's like my car kit. What do I carry in my car kit? Why do I carry it in my car kit? And what do I carry for eventualities? Well, now the season's changing. The kit's upped a little bit, so some of the summer gear can come out. Some of the winter gear starts going in. No different servicing your car for the conditions. You know, we all do it. Winter's coming, do that oil change, check the antifreeze, change the tyres if you have to change the tyres, so on and so on and so on. It's the same thing with your emergency kit in the back of the car. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I've got 2 scooters. I've got a small one and my larger one that can go on the road if I want to. So when I'm carrying that, it's a little bit of peace of mind for me, because I know I've got some med kit in there. I've got something if I hurt myself or I come across someone who's hurt themselves. But I've also got things in there that if I need to shelter somewhere and maybe I've hurt myself, fallen off it, the batteries run out, I've got no signal, I can still look after myself, and I've got a bit of food there and some drink and that.
Simple preparation skills. I like the idea of that one. That's a good idea. Big knives, little knives. Yeah, because that's one I'm always cracking on at people about. You know, we get the big knife, little knife scenario. You know, are you better off with a big Rambo knife or a small knife? Well, personally, I'm a small knife man. I like small, efficient, clean. Don't get me wrong. If I'm going out and I'm going to put myself into a survival prepping situation, my go-to tool is always going to be my British Army survival knife, because it's a beast and it has many uses. But in 99% of the stuff I do, my small knives will do everything I need them to do. And in fact, for a lot of jobs, the small knife is a lot more handleable, a lot more controllable, and a lot easier. So yeah, that'd make a good video. Yeah, big knife versus small knife. One that doesn't break works for you. Yeah, good at that. Testing your knives to destruction. Done that a few times, haven't I?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's I mean, I've got a little trick that I do with a new knife, which I call the step test. Most knives will fail where the handle joins the blade, and again, it's one of those things. It's an extreme thing to do, but I will drive a knife into a stump and stand on the handle, and if it will support my 18 stone and use it as a step, I mean, I'm not bouncing up and down on it, but if it will support my body weight, I'm pretty much confident that I can't put 18 stone down through my hand as a driving force. So therefore, it's probably going to survive the work I needed to do. And again, I mean, we can go into depth on that, with grinds and techniques and that, but yeah, well, yes, without getting too in depth, I suppose. It's like axes. You know, I've got many types of axe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, my everyday carry is a Leatherman. Does most of the jobs I want it to do. That's my on my belt 24/7. And then I adapt to the environment where I'm going, what I'm doing, you know, where am I off to. I don't always take the British Army survival knife. Sometimes I'll take an axe. If I'm taking an axe, I don't need the British Army survival knife. In If I'm going out, like when I went to Carfest, so I took the Silky Saw and the British Army survival knife. I didn't think I was going to need them, but
You never know.
it was a case of if I need to clear something in a hedgerow, we get something down blocking a trackway, or if I end up making a fire and I need to split some wood, then having those two items with me means I can make a small, controllable, sensible fire with logs. Because people get a bit worried when you start using your Land Rover to haul trees across fields. Yeah, and again, and everybody's going to be different as well. That's the other thing I'd like to point out is everybody's hands different, everybody's strength is different, everybody's grip's different. Um, we all live in different places, so the timbers that we have access to, invariably with a knife, it's woods. So the woods you're using, they all vary. Some will split nice, some don't. Some you're going to want something that's got a really aggressive grind on it so that you can get a wedging effect and split the timber. Others you're going to want something that's really, really fine, or you're going to be somewhere where you might not have access to timbers and you're not splitting timbers. You might be working with brush. So again, the knife's got to adapt. If you're a hunter and you're working with game, you're going to want a knife that you can shrink down on. You can use the tip and use the curve of the blade properly. So again, it's adapted. Yeah, and it's practice, 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 practice. No worries, Tracy. You take it easy.
Right, Tracy.
I'm going to have a slice of coffee cake in a little bit.
And thank you both for my lovely stickers for my scooter. Paul's on board.
Much appreciated. Really appreciated. So what we'll do, we'll get back into that. So there will be Bushcraft 101s, and they will come up in a series of videos. The 101 videos will come up as a series. And again, any subject you want gone over, go over it. Just send us a message. Could you cover this, Mick? Could you cover this, Mac? And we'll look into it for you. Silky saw. And again, if you can't get a silky saw, there's backhoe. And like I said, for many years, I used to just go to the local DIY shop and buy the cheap ones.
Tracy sent round a big coffee cake, Mac. We'll save you some.
I'll save you a slice for when I pick you up on Tuesday, mate. There'll be a slice here for you.
Blame him, Mac.
It only arrived today.
I know.
Yeah. I've been bugging the poor woman for days. She said to me last week, she said, I'll make you a coffee cake sometime. So every day I went, where's my coffee cake? Where's my coffee cake?
Yeah. Oh. Oh,
Nice neighbours, lovely people, absolutely wonderful people, and yeah, that lady makes a lovely, lovely cake.
you will sit there, Mac, and you will eat that coffee cake until it makes you sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She'll hold you down and make you eat it. Right, guys, that's 1 hour and 49 minutes. I'm winding up on my cigar now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my usual, sit back, look at the comments, let you guys all say goodnight to one another, fire off any questions that you want quick. We've
So you
got
write a note what you need to do.
10 minutes. So, yeah, we'll give it 10 minutes and that'll give us 2 hours. As always, I hope you've all had a great week and I hope you all have a good week coming up. Stay safe, have your adventures, have your fun. Anything you come across of interest out there, yeah, make a little note for us. Fire it over to me, or if you see anything happening in your area that you think might be of interest for a Sunday night, fire us off an email or a message, or even stick it on a comment on one of the videos that will come up on my screen and give us a pointer and
Also,
I'll
if
go and have a
anyone's
look at it.
on Facebook, then you can join the Hampshire Hog Hunters.
Yeah, any of you with Facebook, join the Hampshire Hog Hunters. That's another way of contacting us. I don't personally do Facebook. Kaz does the Facebook and Mac runs the Hampshire Hog Hunters. So basically any information gets back to me that way. The only reason I don't do Facebook is, yeah, I'm just useless at technology, basically. I got myself into trouble with it a couple of times. Shredded chicken and enchiladas. Oh, come on, something's Rizzle's getting better. Nice, mate. Nice, nice. You feast like a king there, Derek.
Yes.
Feast like a king. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. And again, your
Nice.
temperatures come down. You've got a thunderstorm. You've got the lightning. Yeah. The universe is giving you a show. Absolutely perfect.
Nice balance there of.
And yes, Derek, we are still considering getting out to you in the next sort of 12 months if we can. Got to look at finances and all the rest of it. But it would be nice, me and Mac both saying it would be absolutely lovely to get out to the States, meet up with you. And if we can get down to meet up with John and maybe even meet up with the FU crew, that would be absolutely fucking awesome. Yeah, it might be a mad one. We might just be out there for a few days, but you know, we'll see what we can do. Ideally, it'd be a case of being able to sort of book it far enough in advance to get out there for a week or two, and have a bit of a stomp round, meet everybody, see everybody, share ideas, techniques, methods, try some things that we haven't tried, see some things we haven't seen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really what it's about. It's about constantly learning and sharing.
I'm going to send you a photograph now, Mac, of the cake.
Yeah. Ray, thank you so
Good
very
night.
much for the
Good
knife,
night,
my
Ray.
friend. All right, that is going to. We will do a video on that.
And definitely bring you and your dog.
That
and
will
come round.
That will go out to somebody. However, I've got to be very, very careful because I sent a couple of knives to different people this year, and one of which I got a little bit of flack over. So I've got to be a little bit careful on that one, mate. But we'll sort something out. We'll sort something out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Derek. That'll be the other nice thing is to come over there, do some videos with you guys.
And John said about swapping stories you can't talk about on YouTube.
Yeah, and swap some stories we can't talk about on YouTube. Because we've all got plenty of those. And that'll be another thing, guys. If we can arrange a meet up for you guys in the UK. Dirty Faces.
Night,
mate. You take it easy. Sleep well. Have a great week. Yeah, we can have a meet up. We can discuss things we can't discuss.
Night
on
in,
YouTube.
and I'll sort that video out.
Ian, take it easy, my friend. Have a good night. Bless you. Have an awesome week. God, I really look forward to this every week, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite 007. 003 and a half. Or 001 and 3/4. Yeah. There's, we all have bits and pieces in our history and our past that we can't really share on YouTube. Everybody has that story that if they told it, either going to embarrass them severely in front of the public, or today's society just wouldn't get it. But we all got our funny tales. It's very difficult to tell.
But yeah, so it's definitely makes a Sunday night.
Yeah, and we look forward to
Yeah,
this.
that's
As
it,
you
yeah.
guys know, me and Kaz look forward to this. So does Matt. All week long, we sit there. This is my one wind down of the week. I sit here and have a great time just waffling and chatting to you guys. And like I've said before, it's like being down the pub
Like
with a group of mates.
See you
Matt,
Tuesday.
I'll
with
see
your
you
cake.
Tuesday, mate. We'll have your cake's going to be put to one side. Cut your nice slice off now. Put it to one side. Might even cut them off 2 slices.
Yeah.
You can have one to take home as well then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeze it.
Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe. Have your adventures.
Oh, it's Labour Day, is it?
Labour Day.
Ah.
Excellent, excellent. Excellent, Matt. I'll see you on Tuesday. And that means tomorrow's Monday. So tomorrow I'm actually going to do bugger all tomorrow. Apart from sort a bit of kit out, organise a bit of my gear, make sure my camera's all charged up, all
I
my
need to
battery's
charge
good.
my scooter. I pick one up.
Yes,
Put some
charge
brake
your
down
big
again.
scooter. Easy day tomorrow. First easy day in 4 weeks. Yeah.
Remember, stay safe, be free.
Yeah, and enjoy your for all my friends in America. Enjoy
Labour
your Labour Day. All right. I do use GoPro, Derek. I've got a
GoPro 10. Is it a 10?
9. It is. There's my GoPro box. Oh, I've got a little GoPro 9. And I use that, and I've got a media mod on it as well. But I've got to look at it, improving my mic setup. I've had a look at a few of them, but it all confuses the crap out of me. Because you look at buying a mic and they give you all this technical specs, and I'm like, yeah, but is that going to actually just work on that? I need something that literally just plug and play.
You shoot non-fisheye.
I don't know, mate. I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look into it. I don't know. I literally bought it, charge it, put the SD card in it, point and shoot. I tend to stay away from the settings and that because I have absolutely no use. But I shall find out if it can shoot non-fisheye. I take it needs to be, it's not coming across all on my videos. It's probably coming across as a too wide a view. So what we'll do, I'll have a look into it, see if I can change the settings and see if I can get better imagery that way. I've looked at other cameras as well, but again, a lot of it just confuses the crap out of me, to be honest with you, mate. Somebody said to me, "Oh, you want to get yourself a proper cameraman?" I would if he works for biscuits. Right, that's it. We got what, minute and 30 seconds, and then I'm going to shut down. So, yeah, from me, from Kaz, from Mac, from Tracy, Phil, Jason, who I know is away this weekend, but he'll send his regards and that. Guys, stay safe, take good. Yeah, what's it? Lee Michael, if you're seeing this late date, blessings out to you, my friend. You know where we are if you need us. Okay, guys, stay safe, have fun, be good, do your adventures, enjoy your Labour Days,
and we'll catch up with you next week.
Lovely stuff. Catch you later, guys. This is Mickey, Caroline, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival, and Mac from the Hampshire Hog Hunters. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. And as always, may peace and light be upon you all, guys. Have an awesome week. Nicky out.